Happy Thursday, everybody. We're back at it. We're going to work hard today. We normally don't do that on Thursdays, but sometimes circumstances just require that I have to lean forward just a little bit. 23rd day of January 2025. I am Dan Kuntz. It is clear for the most part, 21 degrees, a few high clouds out there. When I got up this morning, a little after 3, for my morning cup of coffee, stepped out on the front porch and I could see that the moon, it's about 1/3 moon, a little less than a half moon, was kind of filtered out by some high clouds. That was expected. Now it is a few hours later and the moon is clean and crisp as can be, so some of those high clouds that rolled in yesterday afternoon and last night are already beginning to depart. Still going to see some filtered sunshine today, maybe a little bit warmer. We hit 34 yesterday, right on the normal mark, and this pattern just continues. There's a big ridge of high pressure just right off the coast of our state, and it moves around a little bit, but it's really not going anywhere. And as long as it sits there, we're under the influence of big time high pressure, very cold air, very dry air, but absolutely no precipitation at all. I'm digging this sunshine, I really do, but we're way behind now in our rain and our snow after that very wet November and December. We've kind of gone in the exact opposite direction. Those details are coming up. News is coming up. Big upset in women's college basketball last night. Haley Van Lith's TCU team goes down to defeat to Oklahoma State. We'll talk about that. Plus, there's a lot of prep action. We got wrestling tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. Sunnyside Grizzlies in town to take on the Wenatchee Panthers. Eric and Dave, son and father. The Granstroms will be calling the action. We'll have the girls on Facebook wrestling at 6, the boys on Facebook and wrestling at 7. We'll have that for you. Thursday, Pause for Pets. It is Duke's turn to find a permanent home. We'll visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And if you missed a conversation with Austin Drade on Tuesday, the voice of the wild, first of all, what's the matter with you? And second of all, we'll give you a chance to make up for that by watching it today in the back half of the program. I stumbled across this as I was surfing the internet this morning from the National Weather Service. Check out this slide. This is the snow amounts in the United States, the continental United States, from Monday, Tuesday, and spilling a little bit into Wednesday morning. For the record, the following locations have had more snow this winter than we have in the Wenatchee Valley. You ready for this? Memphis, Tennessee, Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Little Rock, Arkansas, New Orleans has all had more snow than we've had. That is just plain bizarre. We've had a little over, I think, about 7 inches of total snowfall accumulation on the ground here in the Wenatchee Valley. Memphis, Mobile, Pensacola, New Orleans, Little Rock, they've all had more than that, and they all had that in a rather intense, and now they're locked into some cold weather. They're not used to that down there in the south. I saw that and I thought, that's kind of interesting. I think my viewers might like this. And I think our viewers might like this forecast because it's just the same old thing. From the National Weather Service, the only difference between today and the days to come and the days that just passed is we'll have a few more high clouds, and that's really about it. It's still going to be sunny for the most part today with a high of 36. Sunrise this morning, just about an hour from now, 7:37. Sunset tonight, 4:49. 9 hours and 13 minutes of daylight. That's 2 minutes and 37 seconds longer than yesterday, and it'll be about that way tomorrow, too. 39 on Friday. We'll see a few clouds tonight. It's going to make us a little bit warmer. You notice that it's 25 for the overnight low going into Friday morning, and right now we're at 21. So it's going to be a little milder in the overnight low tonight, which means a little bit warmer on Friday. And then sunshine on Saturday and 35, and sunshine on Sunday and 36 and 36 and 37 and 38, and sunshine. This is a big ridge of high pressure. They say maybe Thursday things will start changing. There's a chance of some light snow, by the way, way up north in the Omak, Okanagan area and in the Methow Valley. It's also going to be a little windy right up there near the Canadian border today as a weak system slips through and slips out. It's not going to affect us much at all. All right, after a quick break, the headlines on this Thursday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Few high clouds out there, 21 degrees, just a few high clouds, but sunshine will have the upper hand today. Mid-30s, a little bit warmer with bountiful sunshine on Friday. Then we go right around the mid-30s with nothing but sunshine across the board for our entire viewing area until at least Wednesday of next week. 7 minutes after the hour, the dump truck driver who is accused of knocking down a power pole near Mansfield and causing a power outage will not face felony charges over the crash. Douglas County prosecutors say instead they're going to charge 48-year-old Pedro Talavera with misdemeanor offenses in Douglas Court. Talavera allegedly crashed into a pole and knocked down power lines northeast of Mansfield on January 14th, then broke a window on a nearby home before leaving the scene in a second vehicle. Sheriff's deputies say he was intoxicated at the time. Talavera faces district court charges including DUI. A new security canine is a first for Confluence Health. The healthcare organization recently launched a security dog program to assist in making the rounds with handlers and deterring violent behavior. The canine on board is a 3-year-old German Shepherd named Atlas, originally from Slovakia. Atlas recently returned to Wenatchee with his handler, Justin Bennett, from training, and the duo are one of 2 canines and handlers planned. The Confluence Health Foundation contributed funding to help secure the dogs, their training, and the necessary vehicles. And to thank them, the security team gave the foundation a chance to choose the name of the dog, and they chose Atlas. Columbia Valley Community Health is set to open its new behavioral health clinic. It'll open next month. The clinic on Eastmont Avenue, the new building in East Wenatchee, will serve both adults and children. The facility has space to host about 29 behavioral health providers, and they're currently accepting new patients. The clinic will offer specialized services in adult patients seeking mental health support, children and adolescents requiring behavioral health care, and comprehensive mental health treatments and interventions. The clinic will open on February 10th for children and February 17th for adult patients. Local governments are required by the Constitution to provide defense attorneys for criminal suspects who can't afford an attorney. In Chelan County, it's the Council for Defense. That's the group, the nonprofit agency that handles that duty. Executive Director Jeremy Ford and his staff of 9 attorneys each defend up to 150 felony cases and 400 misdemeanor cases every year. But state standards are changing. And Ford says those upper limits could soon go down, meaning he'll need more lawyers to get the job done.
Well, the standards came from this RAND study. Basically, it looked at public defense delivery systems throughout the country, so how every state essentially does public defense differently in Washington, we have almost every county that does public defense differently. So they looked at all these things and were trying to figure out what they thought was realistic as far as how many cases you should handle. So the standards as adopted by the WSBA are the standards proposed by the RAND study. The standards changed July 25th of this year. And they are supposed to decrease from right now 150 felonies down to 110. And then misdemeanors are supposed to go down to, I think, 250 from 300 to 400 to, I think, 285 per attorney. And then the following year, they decrease a little bit more, felonies down to 90s, I think misdemeanors down to 240. And then the final number, which would be in 3 years, would be 47 felonies and 120 misdemeanors, which is a big difference. And so right now, those are up in limbo. The standards also create the need for, as written and as proposed, the standards also create the need for additional experts in our office. So we would have to hire additional, you'd have to have one investigator for every 3 attorneys. Right now we have 2 investigators for essentially 8 attorneys. So we need to hire additional investigators, then you also have to hire social workers. So those are the standards as proposed. Of course, the Supreme Court right now is, for lack of a better term, punted on this issue. Right now, in Washington state, these numbers are in response to a lack of public defenders. There's a severe shortage of people wanting to become public defenders. Some people have the view that it's based solely because of the caseloads, which is an issue. I think other issues are, of course, lack of, well, it's not really a prestigious job. And then, of course, people don't want to go to law school and come out $150,000 in debt and make $75,000 a year. That's an issue that's not been addressed. I think the salary issue is a main component. But there is a lack of people wanting to practice public defense, and particularly in rural areas. There's a real hard time attracting public defenders to rural areas. We have never had an issue with getting funding from the county. We've been in talks about the new standards and what that's going to entail. I actually asked for an extra, I think about $120,000 this year to add an attorney if we needed one based on the new proposed standards, which are still up in the air at the moment, unfortunately. But if those new standards go into effect, we would have to hire an additional person, and the county has given us resources for that. So I think the county has always given us good resources. We never had any pushback as far as money or anything like that.
It's only his second sponsored bill in the House of Representatives, but it's an ambitious one. Freshman State Representative Hunter Abel is pushing House Bill 1435 to create a $100 million law enforcement hiring program, offering grants to pay for up to 75% of the entry-level salaries and fringe benefits for full-time local or tribal officers. The payouts would last for a maximum of 36 months. A companion bill would allow cities and counties to levy a 0.01% sales tax to hire more police and increase the number of basic law enforcement training classes offered through the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Center. Abel, a 7th District Republican, says the bills offer more policing options for communities of all sizes across our state. And the superintendent of the Ephrata School District will stay in the position of the superintendent of the Ephrata School District. It's a permanent job now after a vote by the district school board. Kim Murray, who has been serving in an interim role since July, was promoted to superintendent last week. The vote was 3-1 for a 3-year contract with him, which is contingent, of course, on successful negotiations. According to the district, Murray is a graduate of Ephrata High School and has had 17 years of administrative experience. Prior to his interim superintendent role, Murray served as the district's assistant superintendent for 1 year. Before that, he was the principal of Ephrata Middle School from 2013 to 2023. And that's what's making headlines on this Thursday. The news comes your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. On television, 5, 6, and 10, those are the blocks where the news airs, but we know that this isn't necessarily fit around your schedule. We got you taken care of. The news will be posted and ready for you to watch on our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock, our Facebook page right around 5 o'clock, and of course, our homepage at NCWLIFE.com. There's something out there you think is newsworthy We got people who know what they're doing here. Trust me, I work with them. Send us an email and they'll chase it down. news@ncwlife.com. Sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty, and hockey talk with Austin Trade. All coming up. It's a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Her Royal Highness Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Who's trying to stretch their budget this January? That's pretty much all of us. That's why Abby's is offering this giant pizza that can feed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 hungry people for less than $27. Now, that's an Abby's budget stretching deal. Worried about a no-fun January? Not at Abby's. Dine on our Bacon Cheddar Special. It's delicious and loaded with toppings and real cheese. Plus, it's on sale, and the kids can play some video games. Enjoy fun January at your local Abby's.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Sports at 17 minutes after the hour. The Seattle Kraken and the Washington Capitals meet at Climate Pledge Arena tonight in the first meeting of the season between these two teams. Washington is playing very good. In fact, they may be the best team of the NHL right now. They've won 5 in a row. They're 16-6-1 on the road. They are 32-10-5 overall, and they are 10-3-3 in one-goal games. Seattle, on the other hand, 21-24-3 overall. They are 11-10-3 at Climate Pledge Arena. And the Kraken are 4-9-0 in games when their opponent commits fewer penalties. The puck will drop at 7 on both King and Kong. Women's college basketball last night, big upset. First of all, Iowa crushed the Huskies 85-61, but more importantly, Oklahoma State upsets number 9 TCU 60-59. TCU had won 10 in a row. Haley Van Lith had a last-second shot for the victory. For the Horned Frogs, it clanged off the rim. That was it. She did contribute 12 points and 8 rebounds, but TCU goes down to defeat in Oklahoma State 60-59. Women's college basketball schedule for today: Portland will be in Pullman to take on Washington State, 6 o'clock on ESPN+. Eastern Washington will be at Northern Arizona this afternoon at 5. Men's college basketball schedule: Wazoo in California to take on Santa Clara. That's an 8 p.m. tip-off. If you have CBS Sports Network, you can watch it. I don't. Northern Arizona is at Eastern Washington in men's basketball, 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN+. That's the colleges. Now it's prep time. Ephrata will be at Sela at 5:30 in girls basketball. Shalana Cascade at 5:45. Brewster and Lake Roosevelt will tip off at 6. Cascade Christian Academy will take on Twin Falls Christian also at 6 in girls basketball. Wilson Creek will take on Moses Lake Christian again at 6 o'clock. Boys schedule, a little bit more. There, Ephrata at Sela at 7 p.m. to wrap up that doubleheader. Shalana Cascade, again, the boys a little bit after the girls, 7:15 tip-off there. 7:30 for Brewster at Lake Roosevelt. Cascade Christian Academy has 2 games today. They're at a tournament. They'll take on Gem State Adventist at 2:50 this afternoon, then Mesa Grande at 6:30. That's tough. 2 games within 4 hours of each other. Garden City Academy will take on Pateras at 4:15. The Soap Lake boys welcome Thorpe at 6 o'clock, and the Moses Lake Christian boys will entertain Wilson Creek at 7:30. And we have wrestling tonight. Yeah, baby. Sunnyside is good. Wenatchee will have their handfuls. We will find out with Dave Grandstrom and Eric Grandstrom on the call. We'll have the girls wrestling on Facebook starting at 6 o'clock tonight. The boys will be on at 7 o'clock tonight, both on Facebook and I believe on television. I'm not sure. I'm kind of lost track of things. Anyway, check it out. If you can't make it to the gym, you can watch it on our Facebook. Tonight, the Panthers and the Sunnyside Grizzlies in high school wrestling. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Thursday, the 23rd, it's National Pie Day. You'll probably see that all over social media. I decided not to do that. It's National Rhubarb Pie Day, so there's a specific pie associated with that as well. It's National Measure Your Feet Day, 12.5. Thank you very much. We're not doing any of these things. As we throw up our graphic, I'll let you think about this for just a second or two, what today's obscure holiday may be. No, it's not National John Hancock Day. That's probably one of the most famous signatures of all time. It's National Handwriting Day. And it's observed on this day because it's John Hancock's birthday. And then there it is, John Hancock right there on the Declaration of Independence. Of course, the art of handwriting is gradually being lost because people don't write by hand anymore. Thanks to computers and tablets and phones, that's how we do our emailing and our messages and our everything. We type almost everything now, of course. Handwriting has been on the decline since the 80s when typewriters and word processors became cheaper and more available, so people would use typewriters. This is a true story. When I took my handwriting class at Washington Elementary School, I believe it was third grade. I'm almost sure it was third grade when they teach you cursive writing. I took right to it. I was really good at cursive writing. In fact, Mrs. Miller would hold up my work to the class and say, you see what Danny did here? See how he's writing in cursive? This is how you should do it. I, of course, was mercilessly teased by my classmates because I had almost perfect cursive handwriting. And then in junior high, my parents bought me a typewriter, and since then, I can't write worth a dang, and now I print, and I can't even read what I print. Yes, the art of handwriting has continued to decline. Handwriting, of course, is unique to a person as his or her fingerprint, which is why a lot of metro police departments, larger city police departments, used to have handwriting experts. I don't even know if they have that anymore. Happy National Handwriting Day. My handwriting went from exquisite to unreadable in a very short period of time, and now I pretty much type everything. 22 minutes after the hour. Today in history. 469 years ago today, that would make it this date in 1556, the Shenzhou earthquake. It is the deadliest earthquake ever. It hits the Shenzhou province in China. Most of the residents, this was 1556, most of the residents in that area lived in artificial caves that were dug into the cliffs. It happened in the middle of the night when the earthquake hit, and we don't know the intensity of the earthquake. When the earthquake hit, all of those artificial caves collapsed and buried those residents alive while they were sleeping. Damage from the actual earthquake, they think, killed about 100,000 people, and then an additional 700,000 people died as a direct result of the earthquake afterwards because of plagues and famine. So they figure roughly about 830,000 people died as a result of this earthquake, the Shenzhou earthquake, January 23rd, 1556. 84 years ago today, of course, World War II was in full swing. We're not in it yet. Charles Lindbergh testifies before the Congress, and he recommends that the United States sign a peace treaty, or at least a neutrality pact, with Hitler. He says we can't beat Hitler, so there's no reason trying. Needless to say, FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, publicly decried Lindbergh's views. He says he's a defeatist, he's an appeaser. He secretly thought he was a Nazi, and he may have been. After Roosevelt chimed in, Charles Lindbergh resigned his commission in the Army Air Corps, saying that he saw no alternative because Roosevelt had publicly questioned his loyalty. Charles Lindbergh says, we can't beat the Nazis, so let's just walk away. That was on this date in 1941. I wonder how Churchill felt about that. 68 years ago today, there's Walter Frederick Morrison. After inventing what he called a flying disc, he sells the patent. He sells the rights to the Wemo Toy Company, who continued to call it the flying disc until they changed the name of it to Frisbee a couple of years later. That's the guy who invented the Frisbee. He still got royalties, but not much. Of course, he didn't have the wherewithal to manufacture the thing. Walter Frederick Morrison sells the rights to his flying disc to Wemo, who changes it to Frisbee, and now everybody calls it Frisbee, even though that's actually a trademark name. That happened 68 years ago today. It's hard to believe, but before this date, 1964, if you went to the polls to vote in Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas, or Virginia, you had to pay for it. You had to pay a tax, a poll tax. Well, the 24th Amendment was ratified on this date, which meant you didn't have to pay a poll tax in national elections. The amendment prohibited requiring you having to pay to vote in federal elections, but it wasn't until 1966 when the Supreme Court ruled in Harper v. Virginia Board of Elections that poll taxes for any level of elections were unconstitutional. Yep, you want to vote in the presidential election, you got to pay the right to do it. That came to an end on this date in 1964, and on this date in 1986, 39 years ago today, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducts its inaugural class, the very first members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Little Richard was inducted by Roberta Flack. Chuck Berry inducted by Keith Richards. Steve Winwood did the honors of inducting James Brown. The genius Ray Charles was inducted by Quincy Jones. Herb Alpert did the honors, inducting Sam Cooke. Fats Domino was inducted by another piano legend, Billy Joel. Neil Young did the honors. He inducted Phil and Don Everly. The Everly brothers. Buddy Holly was inducted by John Fogerty. Jerry Lee Lewis was inducted by Hank Williams Jr. And Elvis Presley was inducted by Julian and Sean Lennon. Of course, Buddy Holly, Sam Cooke, and Elvis Presley were all inducted posthumously. Their respective family members or widows took their trophies with them. Little Richard was not there, but he was there. The morning of the rock and roll induction ceremonies at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City, Little Richard was in a car accident and was hospitalized and couldn't be there that night. And there were 6 others, by the way, who were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the first class. The early influences, Jimmy Rogers, Jimmy Yancey, and legendary bluesman Robert Johnson. And then in the non-performing category, rock and roll DJ Alan Freed, the founder of Sun Records Sam Phillips, and legendary CBS talent scout John Hammond. The first class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame were inducted on this date in New York City in 1986, and we just have one birthday. It's a heavenly birthday. I know it when I see it. Poor Potter Stewart. He says, well, I'm going to be known for one phrase and one phrase only. I guess that's it. He says it's better than not being remembered at all. Potter Stewart was the 82nd Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. That was his famous ruling in the pornography case of Jacobellis v. Ohio. The question was whether this movie was hardcore pornography and therefore could be banned. And he said, I shall not today attempt to further to define the material I understand to be embraced within the shorthand description of pornography. He says, I don't think you can actually legally define pornography. He says, but I know it when I see it, and this movie is not that. And by the way, because of Potter Stewart, if they want to listen in on your telephone calls, law enforcement has to get a wiretap. In the 1967 ruling Katz v. United States regarding the tapping of phones, he said, everybody, even if you're using a public telephone, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. So now they have to get a warrant, even if it's a public phone. Thanks to Potter Stewart. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Their Cash for Clunkers program is running. It's up and running. Up to $2,000 in rebates to replace your old, worn-out HVAC system with the latest and greatest heat and air system. For the information, get a hold of Alpine Air. Still to come, Mike Minardi's got an opinion, Hockey Talk with Austin Drade, but it's Thursday. It's Pause for Pets. Duke the dog needs a permanent home for the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager, and today I want you to meet Duke. Duke is our big boy. We think he's about 9 months old, and he is all puppy who does not know how big he is. Duke's favorite thing in the entire world is stuffed animals. He will go on entire walks holding them in his mouth without dropping. I believe his dream would be to have a huge pool filled with stuffed animals. So if you can make that happen, this is the dog for you. He's got a lot of energy. He's a rambunctious puppy, big puppy. Duke came to us actually as an owner surrender. They surrendered because they already had several dogs in the home. They had cats, and they were expecting a new baby. So this big baby was just a little bit more than they could handle. Because he's an owner surrender though, we do know that he was good with their dogs, but not so good with their cats. So I can actually say for once that we know a dog's not good with cats, which is nice. Yeah, but we think that he could probably be great with your dogs. As usual though, we always encourage you to bring your own dogs here to meet them, to see if they get along, because that's really important. So Duke is a pile of fun. Always active, wants to do stuff. I think he'd be great in an active family. Stuffed animals are a must. He loves his walks. I think he'd be a good hiking dog. Squeaky toys, also important. So we're not quite sure what he is, but we think that he might have some retriever or chocolate lab in him. But we're just calling him a large mixed breed. Hi, it's hard to know. Yeah. You want to come meet Duke? Come by anytime between 12:30 to 6, Thursday through Tuesday, or make an appointment for Wednesday to come online. And we would love to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a big wolf.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
'Twas the holiday season, and all through the town, people were shopping and driving all around. But every Sunday at 10, you would find them all here at Wine Girl Wines for the Bloody Mary breakfast buffet, football, and beer.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, there's a disturbing trend I'm seeing among some of my Christian brethren. The 9th commandment, you know, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. It's basically saying don't lie about someone. However, somewhat recently, local folks identifying as Christians told some malicious lies about a competent school board member, justifying doing so in an attempt to get their own candidate on the board. And this trend isn't just local. It seems that in politics, some people of faith feel that the end justifies the means, which is not a concept supported by Christianity, by the way. And that in politics, violating the 9th commandment in order to win is okay. Well, it's not. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Elevate Home is the newest addition to Chelan's premier shopping district. Shop the latest from American Leather and Bassett Furniture, add in their on-site interior designer, and you'll have everything you need to elevate your space today.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Welcome back to the program. You like my Wenatchee Wild sweatshirt? I said, Austin's coming in. I better put on a Wenatchee Wild sweatshirt.
Think warm, Dan.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Austin Drawdy, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, joins us on a weekly basis to talk about Wild hockey, the week that was, and the week that is coming up. A 1-2 weekend. Lethbridge made their only trip to town, to the big city. They took care of business 4-2. On Friday. Wenatchee won Saturday in Kennewick against the Tri-City Americans, and then dropped a tough one on Sunday back here against Tri-City. Real briefly, before we get into the highlights, the Lethbridge game, pretty good, but not enough.
Not quite enough. We needed a little bit more in terms of probably a little bit of everything. A little bit more physicality, checking, detail, guys getting to the net. Gave a really good team a good run in that game. Just, I think not enough is a good way of putting it.
But Saturday was another story altogether down at the Toyota Center in Kennewick. We seemed to be playing pretty good against the Tri-City Americans, who are a pretty good hockey team. Who's kidding who? We took care of business down there 4-2. We have highlights. Austin, again, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in the studio. For you folks at home, please, and again, I cannot stress this enough, use your televisions. It's just for safety reasons. Here we go. Highlights. Austin, it's all yours, buddy.
Well, we start with the first period. Wild going to take the lead. An entry 5.5 minutes into the game. Pick your corner. Glove low. Evan Friesen. Check this out. Right down the slot. A snipe to the bottom corner. And the Wild make it 1-0. A turnaround toss, though. Max Curran ties the game with 4 minutes left in the first period. And the game tied at 1 going to the dressing room. I got to find this thing. Hang on. There it is. Back post, glove side, and this game all tied at 1. But the Wild take the lead early in the second period. Fed out front for Ty Spencer. Welcome to the score sheet. Ty, his first goal in a Wild uniform, a bang in right on the top of the crease, and the Wild make it a 2-1 game. But a few minutes later, 9.5 minutes in, a setup pass right to the front of the net, and it's going to be, watch this, Brandon Wynot, boom. Game tied at 2. Gavin Garland sets it up, and Brandon Wynot going to put that one away to tie the game. And we'll go to the second intermission. All tied up at 2 apiece. Gavin Garland is 37th point of the year, second among rookies in the WHL. Stop me if you've heard this before. The Wild take the lead in the third. It's Deegan McMillan from Grant Reed, who just picked up his first WHL goal the night before, and the Wild a 3-2 lead. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to take that. I need that. Thank you. Dumped in Dawson Seitz from Miles Cooper. 4-2. Wild take the win. That one, the empty netter with just under a minute to play. And the Wenatchee Wild get out of town with a victory. Nice empty net goal to wrap things up. Win number 7 in a row in the head-to-head series by the road team.
Sometimes these things just happen, don't they?
They really do. The series started last year. First 6 wins were by the home team. So it's just a trend. The Wild were hoping to break on Sunday.
You mentioned on Friday night against Lethbridge, one of our Wenatchee Wild players scored his first ever goal of the WHL, and they had another milestone goal, as you mentioned before, in the victory over the Tri-City on Saturday. They usually get a puck, right? Like a commemorative thing, first goal and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Grant got himself the first goal all taped up with the first WHL goal written on it. I don't know that Ty got one, simply because he's been in the league for a long, long time. Played for Regina, played for, I think, Kamloops is where he started. So he's been in the league a while. None of the commemorative special stuff for our experienced veteran coming in from Regina. But yeah, Grant Reed has been battling for that first goal. He's been working hard. He looked really good on Sunday. Got a lot of good chances. Led a rush a couple times on that fourth line. Just wasn't able to put anything away against Tri-City back here.
So my question is, I guess, is it the actual puck?
Yes.
That they do? Because I was just curious. I wonder if they just reach into the equipment bag and say, "We'll just give them this one." I mean,
so one thing you'll notice after a first goal is scored is there's usually a little bit of a delay while they figure out, oh, it's his first goal. They retrieve the puck. They give it to I think they give it to the equipment manager to hang on to, and then they'll skate over to the scorer's bench where they keep the cooler with the extra pucks on ice. They'll flip a new one into play. And so, yeah, that's the first puck that he scored in the Western Hockey League.
Because I know in baseball that's a big thing, and it's always the actual baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they roll it back to the dugout, so they have that moment. I never knew that it would be the actual puck.
Yep.
Wow. See, I learned something new today from Austin Rade. We gave Tri-Cities all they can handle. It was right down to the very bitter end of the third period here at the Town Toyota Center on Sunday afternoon. Americans pulled it out 3-2, and even though we didn't win, it was such a hard-fought game, very well skated game by both sides. We're going to roll highlights anyway. Once again, Austin, monitor, folks at home, TV. Here we go. This is Sunday.
Kind of an ominous start for the Wild as it's popped up in front of the net. 3 hops, and the Americans put it away on the first chance. Check this one out. We'll get a second look at it right in front of the net. It's Savin Verk as that one gets popped up in front. But the Wild would score to make it a 3-1 game. That one fired in. And it's Reed Andreessen 5 seconds into the power play to put the Wild back within 1. Tri-City scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes and 13 seconds. They would score that other one with Savin Verk early in the third, but the Wild answer again down the slot. A minute later, Lucas Sherbina with shot and Sean Rios with the tip to make it 3-2. And the Wild fans, I'm sure, thinking, hey, remember that Spokane game from a few weeks ago? This is the part where we tie it and cruise past them and take the lead. But 4 minutes left in the game. Wild battling for opportunities, and they're just not going to come. Cleared back out, right point. Wild on a power play. A couple of odd ones that we'll get to in a second. Dawson Seitz throws it on. This one blocked, and the Americans able to clear it down ice. 4 shots for the Wild in the third period. They would score on 2 of them, But the battle continues. Tri-City with the net empty at the other end. It's not going to come for the Wild, though. They get shots, they get blocked, they get looks, they get passes. Tri-City in the lanes, they bottle it up on the end boards, cleared out. Wild hold the zone, looking for another shot. Maybe Sherby has one, maybe Seitz has one. Glove save, 32.7 a play. That is pretty much how it would wrap up. Final 20 seconds. Wild get another look, leaning the net on the moorings. Lucas Mateka makes one more save. Wild looking for one final shot, slap shot, blocked, throwing himself in front of that one and hobbling the whole way. He blocked another shot like that earlier in the game. Brandon Wynot gets the last block of the game. Tri-City clears it down ice, and time will run.
The crowd was going bananas those last 2 minutes.
They really were.
Yeah, and we were so close, but it happens. Good goaltending at the end.
Good goaltending, good shot blocking by the Tri-City defense, too. They sold out for their goaltender in the last minutes.
They did. And our goaltending was, there's no slouch, especially both Saturday and Sunday. You gave up 4 goals in 2 games and stopped a lot of shots. They were busy, too. Yeah.
Alex Garrett had a great game on Sunday. He took the hard luck loss because the last goal was a game winner, and he was the one who allowed that in the third period. But Brendan G played an outstanding game on Saturday night, got us the win down there with 25 saves. So it was a good weekend for the goaltending. I think the guys probably deserved a little bit better fate than just the one win.
We're in a long stretch of, it's not a homestand per se. We had, I think, 7 out of 8 games at home. We still got more to go with the one road trip. Not really a road trip. It was Tri-Cities and back. Statistically speaking, 42 games into the season. The Wenatchee Wild are 16-22-3-1. They have 36 points, tied currently for 8th in the West, which would put them in the playoffs. But we have higher aspirations.
Definitely. This group has expectations of making the playoffs, and it's a group that has its goals set on winning more games in the second half of the season. There are still a few guys that are kind of getting implemented into the system, kind of finding their way right now, and we've had a lot of young guys who have had to step up and take big roles. We saw a big weekend from Grant Reed, even though he only had a couple points. He had a huge weekend, like we said, leading the rush on Sunday a couple times, and really I thought looked good, showed a lot of good hustle in that game on Sunday, and got some really good looks at the net. So we're seeing some young guys really starting to step up, and the guys that have been with us for half the season, even though they might be 18, 19 years old or 17 years old, they're not really rookies anymore. They're coming up for us and really starting to find a role on this team and starting to take over those roles.
And even though we've only won 16 games, we've lost 22, 3 overtimes and a shootout loss. They're not getting blown out.
No,
they're even the losses are tight, well skated, well played games. They're just not quite enough goals.
Yeah, the Lethbridge game, the Tri-City game this past weekend. It's been a while since we've been in a true one-goal game. Not a one-goal game that ends with an empty net goal or 2 at the end, but a game that really comes down to the final second of the game. We haven't been in a one-goal game in a while, so it was great to see these guys, even though we lost, gut out a big game and almost take one in front of a big crowd, a crowd that was ready to full-throatedly give their best for these guys.
In town on Friday night, the Everett Silvertips, and this is not a misprint. They've played 43 games, one more than the Wild. Right now, Everett, as it stands, 32-5, 3-3. They have 70 points. They lead Victoria in the West by 13 points. This is an impressive team, and they're probably going to bring some folks over Stevens Pass to watch the game on Friday night.
Yeah, we're expecting a good crowd for the game on Friday night, certainly for a good team with a lot of high-end talent. Some young goaltending, but some good goaltending. And you talk about some of the guys on their team. I mean, Dominic Raymond, Landon DuPont, they're names that Wenatchee folks that have been out to the games, they know, and I'm sure a lot of folks are looking forward to seeing what Everett will bring in against this Wenatchee group. We're looking forward to bringing our best against Everett. The last time we played them was over there, and we knocked them off in their home building, so looking forward to getting another shot at them here. But it's Superheroes and Princesses Night. We're bringing in the Brave Warrior Project again for this one, so looking forward to another good night against a very, very good team.
It'll be a good crowd on Friday night, and a victory over Everett. As you mentioned before, we know how to beat them. We've done it. They come into our house and we knock them off on Friday night. That would be good. And then Saturday, the Winterhawks are in town. Portland, that'll be at 6 o'clock because it's Saturday. That way you can go to the game and you still have Saturday night to go out and enjoy the crazy, crazy fun nightlife in Wenatchee's French Quarter. The Winterhawks, 44 games, 25-16, 2-1, 53 points. They're currently tied for 4th in the West. A little Winterhawk talk. I think the last time we played them was down in the Rose City and we kicked their butt.
Yeah, we picked up some goals against them, took advantage of the power plays we got against them, and we'll need to do that again, get some power plays and take advantage of those here. But it's a group with a very good goaltender, a couple of good goaltenders, but I think Andrei Stebetek is probably the headliner of that group. A lot of young talent that's really coming along quickly for them. They had, I know we've talked about before, they're 13, 19-year-olds last year and had to move 10 of them to get under the limit this year, so they brought in a lot of young players, a lot of players who were playing U18, U17 last year, and those players have come along very quickly, very nicely for them. So it's a young group, it's an up-and-coming group, but it's a group with a lot of talent on them, and they're a group, when we played them down there, they really pressed us final minute of the game when they were down, so it's a group that is capable of doing that all 60.
How we doing health-wise? Hockey, you get beat up. If you play hockey, you will get bumps and bruises, and you will have injuries. It's inherent to the game. If you don't have injuries, you're not playing hard enough. How are we doing health-wise with the team?
Well, we've been pretty good so far. We've got a couple of guys who have been out of the lineup for a little while, are still coming back from their injuries. Maddox McHaggerty had that upper body injury that he picked up in the game against Tri-City. The last time we were down there on the 5th, cost Carter McAdams a few games as well, and he came back and had a good weekend last week. So other than that, we've got a healthy lineup and guys ready to go out and push for a couple wins and another one next Tuesday.
When guys miss ice time because they're injured, who is the final arbiter of you're healthy enough to play? Because the guys are going to say, I want to play even when they're really not 100%. Who's the final vetting on you can now participate in hockey? Yeah,
the final decision, the guys obviously want to play whenever they're capable of, and our athletic trainer will either clear them and be ready to play, or it's not safe for you to go back out there just yet. And then if they have been cleared, it's up to the head coach and the hockey ops staff to decide, okay, he's been cleared, maybe he's only 70%. Is a 70% player, whoever that might be, is he in as good a shape as a 100% player further down the line? And so those decisions are made. But it starts with our medical staff, it starts with our athletic training staff, and then our hockey ops staff, our coaches will decide, is he going to make an impact? Is he going to make a contribution in this game if we put him in?
And we need to give some love to the folks who handle the nutrition and the diets, the workout scenarios that these guys have put together. For the people who need to work on specific hockey muscles. They oftentimes don't get the love that they deserve because nobody sees them.
Yeah, our athletic trainer, Karina, our team doctors, they do an outstanding job. We got nutritionists and folks kind of behind the scenes that we work with that aren't in the rink every day, but they're advising and they're helping us out on a regular basis. So we've got a big group of people who are putting in a lot of work to make sure that these guys are healthy and ready to go and ready to give their best on any single night that they're going to be out there playing.
And to recap the promotions, which night is Erica Moshi and Brave Warrior Project? Because we love those folks.
That'll be Friday night, and then Saturday night is Star Wars night. So
okay.
We'll bring back the characters to greet you on the way in, and we'll bring the players out for a poster signing on your way out the door at the end of the night.
Favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh. Isn't the original always the best?
The original is awfully good. The Empire Strikes Back, the second movie, when they introduce Lando Calrissian and Luke loses his hand and Luke, I am your father. That's probably my favorite.
Can't go wrong with any of the first three.
That's true. But there's something to be said for all 9 of them.
Yeah.
something. I just don't have it right now. Austin Drawday, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Always good to see you, my friend. Go Wild. Don't forget, you can listen to Austin if you can't make it to the Town Stadium either Friday or Saturday night. You can listen to him on AM 560 KPQ on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network, or for a tiny itty-bitty fee, you can watch the video feed and still listen to Austin's call via the internet. Pretty cool. Go Wild. We're going to take a break and wrap it up with the weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
But the Highlander Golf Course is closed. Well, the course is closed, of course. It's a little too chilly to play golf, although I remember when I was younger, we were playing golf on like New Year's Day, but that was quite some time ago. 19 degrees here in the big city. We've gone up 1 degree since the show started. Other temperatures around the area. Ironically enough, Omak is warmer than we are. That's usually not the case. 23. Up in Omak, Dryden, you're checking in at 12 degrees. Quincy, 16. No, I'm sorry, Quincy's at 21. Suburban Quincy is at 16. I was looking at the downtown Quincy temperatures. It's hard to believe there are some locations along the Gulf Coast and in the American Southeast that has gotten more snow this winter than we have. Of course, they had that bizarre snow event a couple of days ago that took everybody by surprise. The following locations have gotten more snow than we have so far this winter: Memphis, Tennessee; Mobile, Alabama; Pensacola, Florida, got 9 inches of snow during this snowstorm. Little Rock got 9 inches. New Orleans got nearly 10 inches. These people are not used to snow down there. It has been an unseasonably dry winter so far up here. We had a very wet late November and most of December, but all of that was really in the form of rain, especially in December. We've had some snow events, but nothing really significant of any kind at all. Most of the snow has been relegated up to the Cascades and up in the Medhow Valley, but even that is starting to go the other side because they haven't had any measurable snow in the mountain passes for quite some time, and none down here in the valley for quite some time. From the National Weather Service, the hits just keep on coming. Again, there is a ginormous ridge of high pressure just off the Washington coast. It moves around a little bit, but it's been fairly stationary. That's going to allow a weak system passing to the north of us tonight. So you folks up in Omak and Okanagan, you're going to have a little wind and maybe a few more clouds tonight. Not so much down here. Under partly sunny skies, we'll get up to 36 degrees, 25 for the overnight low on Thursday. Friday, nothing but sunshine. Because we're going to have a warmer start to the day, 25 for the overnight low means we'll start climbing up that temperature ladder a little quicker. On Friday, 39 for the afternoon high, 20 for the overnight low Friday night. And the hits just keep on coming. Like, look at that. Sunshine, 35 on Saturday. Sunshine topping off at 36 on Sunday, 36 on Monday, 37 Tuesday, 38 Wednesday. Maybe by Thursday we'll see a little change in the weather, but no precipitation at all. Have a good and safe Thursday. Start your weekend with us tomorrow. Bye-bye.